Okay, so you're dealing with hip pain. That's just where the pain is radiating from. That doesn't mean that that site is actually messed up. Now, if you're like me, it might be messed up, but at the same time, it's surrounding factors that are causing the pain in your hip. Okay, so it'd be no different if you've had some forearm pain. It's most likely not the forearm, it's probably the hand or the elbow radiating to the forearm. So first thing we're going to take a look at is using a peanut, a lacrosse ball, or a foam roller, okay? Doesn't matter which one you use what works best for you. Most of the time, a lot of athletes, a lot of people who exercise have very tight quads. First thing we can do is you can use a Theragun, a massage gun, and you can blast out the teardrops, okay, on both sides, all right? It works very well directly in that area, but if you're to use a foam roller, you can knock out the the teardrop and the whole portion of the thigh at the same time, okay? You'd also want to roll up into that hip flexor area. Going anywhere between 10 to 20 passes would be suffice. 10 before a workout, 20 to 30 multiple times, as much as you want throughout the day. The more the better, because it's basically a massage, all right? Now, the other thing is your IT band that runs from the hip, which is where you're probably getting the pain from, runs all the way down to the ankle. Here is an issue that most people don't realize they have. That IT band is tight. And so you see a lot of stretches about hipping in, maybe putting your arm up against the wall or door. The problem is it can only stretch so much if it's locked up. What I mean by locked up is most of the time someone has a knot in that IT band area between the knee and the hip joint. Sometimes it's not so much on the side, it rolls a little bit right here in the front. And there's some nerves right here that will often sometimes burn or go numb in a leg, and that is also the IT band. So you can have hip pain, you can have burning or numbing and no hip pain, vice versa, or all of them. They all probably come from the IT band. So you're just like when you roll the front part of your quad, you're gonna roll the side. Now you're gonna roll back and forth on the back side of the hamstring a little bit, on the side of the leg, a little bit on the front of the leg. At some point, you're gonna find something somewhere that's a oh shit moment. That hurts, all right? There's your spot. There's your locked up portion of the IT band. So you may start with something soft like a foam roller, but you may have to find something big like a peanut. A peanut works really well for me because I sometimes find that the lacrosse ball sometimes is either too much pressure or it's actually too small, and it's kind of more like directing into one spot, where this it's harder than a foam roller, but it allows me to really create more surface mass area and really push into that knot a lot better. I guess you would say that the knot was big, and so the bigger the ball, the better it would be. So what I would do is get in there, find that spot. Now, you're gonna have to find a spot that's comfortable, so don't roll your shoulder forward, because you're gonna start getting tightness in your neck, so always bring your shoulder back. Find that spot, and I rolled it out earlier because I was having some pains. And mine is about right there. And so what you wanna do is you wanna try to hold it, and you wanna hold it as long as you can. And when I mean long, I mean 2 minutes would be great. 5 minutes would be outstanding if you can withstand the pain and the boredom. So find something on TV, really do your best to pay attention where you're at and chase that pain. If that pain begins to move, that means that knot is actually moving. You're releasing it, but it's almost moving down the muscle itself, going to another area. So chase it if you have to, rotating and moving. Now that you've completed those series, you can go back to stretching your hip and things like that. But I find that a lot of times, if that IT band is tight, that the quad is tight. So we're gonna stretch those quads. Remember, we've already released them with either the gun or the foam roller. You can use a bench. That might be very difficult for some people because it's high. You can stack pillows up at your house, like from the sofa, like a more sturdier pillow. Or you can put your foot on a medicine ball, all right? Now, it takes some time to kind of get this vertical action, this good, strong 90-degree feeling. Like a lot of times people have to start like this, okay? And their hands are on the ground because their quad is so tight they can't get up. And there was a point in my time where I was like that too. But now I can come all the way up in here, or I can bring that ball up even tighter into a tighter spot. You will put the opposite leg up. I'm going to squeeze this butt cheek, and you'll know, because when you squeeze the butt cheek, you should feel a flare in your hamstring or a tightness come in, all right? And I'm gonna lean back into it and try to stretch it as the best I can. Once again, while watching TV, because I do not want to think about the process. I want to sit there as long as I can. So if I can get there for a good 2-minute stretch. Oh, also look, I put the ball up against the bench or against a wall. That way it doesn't move. I'm just using it so that way it's comfortable for my foot to rest up against. See how I look at, that's natural because my hips come out. I'll bring them in and I can cross my arm over. I feel even more of a stretch now. So I'll make sure that my vertebrae and everything are stacked. I'm not slunched. I'm not overarched, like pushing my gut forward, trying to get a big arch in my back. I just want to be upright, straight. Gonna watch TV. Gonna do this for 5 minutes straight. How many times a day? The more you do it, the better. And make sure you do it on both sides. Even if there's no pain on this side, trust me, do it. Because if this side's locked up, this one's coming, okay? And then every once in a while, it's not necessary, but it's extremely beneficial, is simply create a Y. Look, see how tight I am? My upper back is crazy tight right now, or my mid back. Look at my arms, look, they're not straight. Well, so I'll go straight, straight. Now it's getting hard. And then now, look, you saw that? It's how my ribs begin to poke out because I've got to overcompensate because my shoulders are tight and my upper back's tight, all right? So doing these while stretching those quads will help take time and mental prep off of that leg because it's going to start to hurt. But at the same time, you're also going to get a good upper body movement at the same time, some good mobility. And trust me, if you're jacked up down there, you're jacked up here.